Are you feeling trapped by your morning routine? Feeling a little bit like you're caught on the hamster wheel and you're just out of breath, but you have to stay on it because that's how you're going to be successful? Today, I'm going to recalibrate your morning routine. I might throw myself under the bus a little bit here and leave a lot of question marks in your head, but I have no doubt that this is going to serve you well because it's a question you need to be asking yourself at least 4 times a year. Stay tuned so that you can learn what that question is. The proverbial morning routine. We put these morning routines in place, don't we? We have these morning routines and they're so well intended to serve and support our days so that we can be productive, so that we can be mindful, so that we can live these full, satisfied lives. But what happens when your morning routine becomes more than a routine and more than a habit? What happens when your morning routine manifests itself in a way that overshadows your living? When instead of actually choosing to live your life, you're now saying no to a bunch of things so that you can, fit into the glove of the morning routine. I'm afraid that there are a lot of people that are in two camps. Camp one being they are quietly feeling ashamed in the corner and beating themselves up emotionally because they're like, I'm supposed to be doing this morning routine and I'm failing at it. But everyone expects me to. And I said I was going to. And you have these people over here that are feeling terrible for not doing this morning routine that they want to do. And then you have these people that are so into the morning routine and so structured that they're not living their lives. They're not as engaged and they're simply checking the boxes instead of actually living life. Yes, I get there are a lot of other people in between here. I'm just trying to point out and contrast these two opposite sides of things. And I want to suggest something. Let's call it the revolution, the morning routine revolution, and that is, let's find the harmony between these two worlds. This might be a little self-serving, I won't lie, because all of this has really come to my mind because my morning routine has shifted. You know, if you're listening all the time, you know I live in far north Idaho, and in the winter it is dark. Like sun is set, it's pitch black at 3:50 whatever in the afternoon, and it goes on like that for a solid month, and I don't prefer it. To me that's just pure misery because I love daylight. But something different happens, much like in Alaska, but not as intense as Alaska. Our sunrise right now, when I'm recording this, is like 4:54, and our sunset is not until 8:38 or so. So these really beautiful long days that need to be taken advantage of. They need people out mountain biking, like the mountains are calling and saying, "Hey, you got to come ride your bike out here." So what I noticed is that I've been spending more time outside, which is my absolute favorite place to be. But by nature of spending more time outside, my evening routine is getting pushed back and I'm getting to bed later. And well, 4 in the morning, which if you listen, you know I love 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning is really early for me now. So I gave myself a little latitude, and I'm sure some of you have. I gave myself some breathing space because life is full of cycles. Everything in nature has a cycle to it, even if we'll take the most basic cycle of our seasons, right? We have winter, spring, summer, fall, and there's a purpose for every one of those seasons. And somehow we're able to see and recognize these obvious changes in nature and we accept it. And we get our pumpkin spice lattes in the fall, and we get our delicious teas and matcha and all of that, and the other cool warmer months. All this to say, we need to start receiving that into our own daily lives. Allow yourself the periods of growth. that take place in the springtime. Allow yourself those beautiful summer sessions to enjoy. Enjoy the fall when things are starting, all that new growth and those beautiful, leaves are now falling off the trees. And then they're going to rest in the winter time. In your own life, you're going to notice some patterns and some cycles. For those who have school age children, that cycle can be dominated by the school year. And so, this beginning of a school year and the end of the school year and the in betweens provide a certain cycle, a certain rhythm to your life. But here's a challenge: if you don't have children, if you don't have those external influences, those external supports, and life is simply, I go to my job and I have 2 weeks vacation each year, it's hard to recalibrate and to find those cycles. And you might need to create and generate those cycles on your own for your life. What I want to encourage you to do is to reevaluate with the different seasons of the year how your morning routine is serving you. Remember, the morning routine, it's meant to serve you. It's not meant to enslave you and trap you and be, lord over you and tell you how to do things. It's meant to complement you. And when we are less disciplined, that habit and that routine can help us, toe the line when we need to. But there's a difference between towing the line and kind of being held hostage by something. And that's where we don't want to sacrifice living life and enjoying life for the sake of a routine. Every person's going to have to strike their own harmony in the situation, but I want to encourage you to reevaluate: how is my morning routine serving me? Is this meditation practice serving me? Put it all on the table. Evaluate all the different components of your routine. Evaluate how they've served you over the period of time that you've implemented them, and then decide, well, maybe that can be cut out right now because I'm living life in this other way. So for me, I haven't cut things out, but I have accepted I'm going to live life. And now I'm going to not wake up at 4 in the morning, but I'm going to wake up at 5 in the morning. And I'm going to say that that's okay in my world. So this is going to empower you to live a full life, to live a life that you're looking back on and saying, I am satisfied. I do not regret taking time to go mountain bike in the evening. Whatever it is for you, find that balance, find the harmony. Do not allow yourself to be enslaved by the morning routine. Allow it to serve you so that you can live that full, rich, vibrant life that you are after. I hope this served you well. I hope that this is putting question marks in your head and that it allows you to find a point of reflection. And sometimes you just need to be jostled and into finding that point of reflection. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do. It is an absolute free way of supporting the podcast, and it helps other people find the podcast. More listeners, more subscribers, more people are going to find it in the searches. Until next time, go find your freedom. Thanks so much for joining me for another episode of Ask Me How I Know. This episode was brought to you by 3 Keys Investments. They are dedicated to helping people like you, you, my awesome listeners, develop passive income and legacy wealth through multifamily investing. Feel free to check out their website, 3keysinvestments.com, to see if there's an offering that will help your portfolio grow and meet all of your needs. If you haven't already rated, reviewed, subscribed, liked, all of those bells and whistles, I would be absolutely honored if you would do that for Ask Me How I Know. Thanks again, and go make it a great day.